I got this lathe, I think back in 2001. Ever since then, man, I've always liked turning material. I just love it. There's something cool about it. You're taking this stationary cutter and removing material. And I'll tell you, back in season 2, I worked with Alan Holler and on a wood lathe. He's a bowl turner. I really like that a lot. I've been thinking about getting a wood lathe ever since then. I like the idea of making bowls because they're so utilitarian. It's something you can create that is beautiful and useful at the same time. I've got a lot of hours on a metal lathe, but I don't know anything about wood lathe. So I'm gonna head over to Woodcraft. They've got the equipment and the knowledge, and today's the day. I'm not leaving there without my lathe.
How you doing? I'm Eric.
I'm Matthew. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Matthew.
What you got going?
Well, I think I'm about ready to pull the trigger on a lathe.
It's fun times. It really is. I always tell people it's cheaper than therapy.
Yeah, right.
You know?
What kind of turning you doing?
Bowls, mostly.
So one thing you want to look at when you're, if that's kind of your interest, you're going to need some power behind that.
Okay.
If you don't have the power to get through some of these woods, it makes for a long day.
Okay. All right. So what would you recommend?
I'm going to steer you towards these two right here.
Okay.
They're both great machines. I like them a lot.
Okay.
They're both going to have the same capacity for a bowl. So you got like 8 inches from here to here.
Yep.
So you'll be able to do a 15-inch bowl on here.
And that's the swing, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So that gives you plenty of space to work. The difference between these two models is that's 1 3/4 horse. This one's 1 1/2 horse. So this will give you a little more power over here.
Power.
And the biggest difference of all is that's a direct drive head on there. This is a belt driven.
So if I want to change speeds, I'm going to be moving the belt.
Right.
Right? Okay.
A lot of people, that's fine. And people that are just turning pens are only going to keep it at 1 speed.
Right.
When you're turning a bowl, you do a lot of changing of speeds.
You do?
A lot. When it's rough, you're going slow, and as you get finer and more round in the shapes,
Increasing the speed.
you're going to increase your
Get
speeds.
a finer cut.
Right. That's going to be a lot easier to do that with. Because
Okay.
you're just pushing a button at that point.
All right. Well, let's
Up and down.
take a look at this.
Great.
And now this says, so it's got the variable speed dial.
Absolutely.
On, off. It's got some function buttons here.
It does. Well, you can program all your speeds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then you could just hit that?
Absolutely. Remember when you first get a machine, you want to file this down.
Oh, really?
Always file them down because they're going to be a little rough to it.
So clean them up?
Right.
Okay.
And when your tool is going over this, any little bumps actually can catch.
Yep,
Believe it or
transfer
not.
right in. Yep.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I think this is the way to go, man. I think this is a great machine. It's something I can grow into. I like how it's built. I like the fact that it's cast. The legs are cast. It looks heavy. And I love the direct drive.
I would say most people, this is all you'll ever need.
I'm really confident with the selection I've made in the lathe. Matthew's direction was spot on. This is a machine that I'll be able to grow into over time, and I love the fact that it's direct drive. Now I just need to figure out how to keep the wood on the lathe.
To start off with, your lathe comes with a faceplate on it.
Okay.
Personally, the way I do it is I start with the faceplate onto a piece of wood. Your faceplate screws onto your drive.
Okay.
And then I'll put on my live center, put the two together. It's a great way to start. It's a safe way to start.
Sure.
Right?
So you're spinning between centers.
Absolutely. Okay. Once I get that done, I get it rounded, and I'm feeling pretty comfortable with it, and I start making my turn.
Okay.
For a base, I'm going to create what's called a foot on the base, something I can grab onto, and then using the chuck, we'll be able to hold that, turn it around, and do the outside and the inside of the bowl.
Okay. All right.
These are the Nova chucks that we have here. Great brand. I'm going to steer you towards the Supernova 2, though. Also, it comes with a 50mm jaw, which most do.
All right.
But you can also buy it in a package with multiple.
And you would get different jaws that would fasten to the chuck.
Correct. They all work on there.
Okay. So I'm going to need one of those chucks, and I might as well just get a kit of jaws.
I would agree with you. Best way to go.
Perfect.
Cool.
Going to start turning. Making a bowl. Got to have some cereal.
So I've got my lathe, I've got my chuck, and now I need some tools. I know there's a lot of options, and I don't want to just go buying stuff for no reason at all. So I'm really going to lean on Matthew for some solid information on exactly what to get.
Okay, so starting from scratch.
Yep.
I don't have any tooling. What do you recommend?
For bowl turning, bowl gouge. You can actually turn the inside, the outside, even the foot with this.
Oh,
One
okay.
tool.
Wow. Okay.
Now, as you get going, you might adapt more tools as you go, but as a starter, I would go with that. A nice 1/2-inch bowl gouge works perfectly. The key to it, though, is you need to sharpen it. No matter any tool you ever buy, it doesn't come sharpened the way you want it.
All right. So I need a bowl gouge. Would you recommend anything else? Is there a parting tool? Or?
Parting tool is a great way to go too, but as far as a bowl, that's about all you really need.
All right. I think next is the wood, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what I'm looking for is something that's going to be sort of easy for me to turn. I don't want to start off with something that's going to be really hard and challenging and have a high failure rate.
Right. And something less expensive to start with wouldn't hurt either.
Excellent point.
If you'll notice, most of these are wet wood, meaning there's wax all over them. And the purpose of that wax is to keep it from drying too quick.
Oh, okay.
Dries too quick, it's going to crack on you.
All right.
And a lot of people do, what do I do with the wax? You just turn it off. So an easy wood to start with is this ambrosia maple.
Oh, all right.
It might not look like the prettiest, but if you get some of the ambrosia inside when you turn it, it can really be a gorgeous piece of wood.
Okay.
Plus, it's not very expensive and easy to turn.
Yeah.
And don't forget, you're going to put your faceplate on here too. You're going to look at the grain direction on this. As you can see, this grain is kind of in a bowl shape here. I kind of like to, this is my personal preference, I like to have that, so the top of my bowl will be on this side.
Okay.
So this would be my inside of my bowl, this would be my foot.
Okay.
So I'm going to take that faceplate that we first talked about.
Put it on the foot.
Right.
All right.
Put
Excellent.
it on, put them between two centers, turn it round.
Well, I think I got everything to get started here.
I think you do too. Actually, I'm going to give this to you.
All right. Is there anything else I need?
Yeah, actually, you need a face shield. Whatever you do, always wear one.
Always have a face shield on?
Absolutely. If that comes off the lathe and hits you in the face, you're in trouble.
Not good. Dude, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much.
Ton
I
of
appreciate you
information.
coming in. Any questions, give me a call.
I sure will.
Thanks.
I finally have everything I need, and I'm excited to get turning.
I'm getting pretty close to the shape here, but it keeps catching, and I gotta try to clean that up, and then I can flip it. Yeah, it's turning into a pretty small bowl. It'll hold a couple grapes, at least. Just keep chewing away at it. All right. That's cool. Looks pretty good. I dig it. Oh, that's on there, man. I gotta figure out what I gotta do here. Ah, there we go. Okay. Woo! I was tightening it up part of the time there. look at that. That is a mess. I can't even say it's art. It's just a mess. That came out really nice. Seriously, like, I don't think I should turn anymore because it actually looks good. I mean, I had a ton of problems at first, but I'm happy with it. This is it. This is the first bowl I've done by myself, and I'm happy with it. I learned a lot. I really did. It was really frustrating at times, especially with the catches. Oh man, those were just killing me. It would rip it out of the chuck, and it was super frustrating. But I just kept at it. I learned so much, and it really gave me something at the end that I'm proud of. You know, I like the shape of it, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I don't know, maybe I'll put some paper clips in it or a single walnut. You know, I mean, it's pretty small, but it's the start of my wood turning journey, and that's what's exciting. I learned a ton, I had a lot of fun, I was able just to lose myself in my work, and I'm glad I did it.